Imagine an empire so powerful it went head-to-head with ancient Egypt, a civilization that dominated the battlefields of the Bronze Age. Now, imagine it completely vanished, erased from the pages of history for over 3,000 years. This isn't a fantasy novel. This is the true story of the Hittites. For centuries, their existence was a complete mystery. We knew about the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, but the Hittites, they were just a footnote, a name mentioned a few times in ancient texts with no real context. It was as if a superpower had been deleted from our collective memory. So, what happened? Where did they go? The Hittites emerged around 1600 BC in the heart of modern-day Turkey, a region called Anatolia. They weren't just another small kingdom, they were a force to be reckoned with. They built a sprawling empire, with their capital, Hattusa, becoming one of the great cities of the ancient world. They were masters of diplomacy and war, creating intricate treaties with their neighbors while also pioneering new military technologies. Their biggest claim to fame, iron. While other empires were still relying heavily on bronze, the Hittites were among the first to master the art of ironworking. This gave them a massive advantage. Iron weapons were stronger, more durable, and could be produced more readily once the techniques were perfected. Their ironclad chariots were the tanks of the Bronze Age, feared across the entire Near East. This technological edge allowed them to expand their influence, eventually bringing them into direct conflict with the other great superpower of the day, New Kingdom Egypt under Ramesses the Great. This clash of titans culminated in the legendary Battle of Kadesh around 1274 BC. Tens of thousands of soldiers and thousands of chariots collided in one of the largest battles of antiquity. Both sides claimed victory, but the result was essentially a stalemate, leading to the world's first known international peace treaty. For a time, it seemed the Hittites were invincible, a permanent fixture on the world stage. But then, around 1200 BC, something catastrophic happened. Historians call it the Late Bronze Age collapse. A perfect storm of climate change, famine, mass migrations of mysterious sea peoples, and internal rebellions swept across the Mediterranean world. Great cities were burned to the ground, trade routes were severed, and entire civilizations crumbled. The mighty Hittite Empire was not spared. Their great capital, Hattusa, was abandoned and torched, and their empire shattered into smaller kingdoms before disappearing from historical records altogether. For millennia, their cities lay buried, their language unread, their incredible story lost to the sands of time. It wasn't until the early 20th century that archaeologists rediscovered Hattusa and began to piece together the puzzle of this forgotten empire. What they found was a civilization as complex and sophisticated as any of its famous rivals. The story of the Hittites is a powerful reminder that nothing is permanent. An empire can control vast territories, possess superior technology, and stand equal to the greatest powers on earth, yet still be brought down and forgotten. It shows us that history is full of lost chapters, just waiting to be rediscovered. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, be sure to like and subscribe for more.